everybody, Crystal Beaudry here with Crystal's Clean Kitchen, where we help make clean eating a lifestyle. So we are doing a short series right now that is all focused on appetizers because we have football games coming up, we have of course the Super Bowl, and we have game nights, and there's just so many things that you're gonna need to either have a party at home or bring an appetizer to. And we always want to keep on track with our low carb eating and also making really good high quality food at home. So we are doing a episode today that is a turkey bacon ranch roll up, and it doesn't take that long to make. It's super easy to do, and you can use it for your lunch, you could use it for your kids' lunch, and of course as an appetizer. The second recipe that we're gonna be doing is a very traditional Minnesota recipe. I'm sure every single Minnesotan has probably tried it before because it's at every party. It is a ham and cream cheese with pickle roll up, and it tastes amazing. It's so easy to make, and so we're gonna be doing both of those today. Now, if you haven't checked out some of our previous episodes, make sure to go do that because we have a ton of really good appetizer ones that we just came out with. In fact, we have so many of them that I'm going to be making an appetizer playlist on my channel, so make sure to go look for that. Okay, well also, will you do me a huge favor and hit that like button? Thanks so much, let's get into it. Here is all of our ingredients that we're gonna be using. Now, for our very first recipe, we are going to start with a block of cream cheese. That is gonna be a full 8 ounces of cream cheese. If you wanted to do less, however, you totally could, that's up to you. Then we're gonna be doing about 12 slices of some deli meat. For our seasonings, we have 1/4 of a teaspoon of some dill, 1/4 of a teaspoon of some garlic, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of some onion powder. Of course, I'm not really gonna be measuring them, I'm just gonna be sprinkling it on. So you do what you want. Now for our bacon, I actually cooked this. I cooked a couple of packages all at once, and then I just saved it in my refrigerator in an airtight container, and so I had some on hand. So you want about maybe 1/4 of a cup of some bacon, and we're gonna of course chop that up so that it's bacon bits. And then we're doing some sharp cheddar, around 1/4 of a cup of some shredded cheese. Any type of cheese would be totally fine though. And then for the second recipe, we are going to be using some pickles. Now, I personally love Clausen's pickles, but unfortunately, they did not have whole pickles. So they only had half pickles, which is fine, whatever. You do what you have, right? So I'm gonna be using a can of pickles and then probably about 12 to 16 pieces of ham, but if you don't have as much ham, that's totally fine. You just kind of use what you have. And then I'll be using another block of cream cheese for that one. I want this to be as small and as thin as possible just because it is gonna be able to go on the roll-ups a whole lot easier. Now, I was watching Laura in the Kitchen's YouTube channel. If you haven't checked her out, you totally should. And she suggested that you should cut your bacon while it's frozen and then cook it because it will make it a lot easier to cut, which, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I heard that because I am totally gonna do that next time. All right, so now we're gonna shred our cheese. Now, like I said in some of my previous episodes, I just recently learned that shredded cheese is coated with cellulose. I know I probably should have known that sooner, but I didn't. And so I have just switched over to shredding it myself, which the benefit is it's so much cheaper, for real. And I'll make sure to link this nice, awesome shredder below. We use it like a few times a day, and it is wonderful. I'm going to be laying out 2 pieces of the plastic wrap just so that I have more area to work with. So I left this out on the kitchen counter for a couple of hours just so that it would be completely softened. Then I'm going to take another couple of pieces and put it over the top. And this is going to allow me to not get super messy while I'm spreading it out. You want to kind of spread it out in the shape of a square as much as possible. You might need to hold the plastic wrap with the side of your hip. That's what I always do. You might need to play with it a little bit, which is totally fine. You also kind of want to be checking it with your hand to see if one part of it is a little bit more than the others. All right, so we have that done. That took a little longer than I was hoping. We're gonna take off one of the sides of the plastic wrap now. If it starts to come up a little bit, just take your, there, just kind of try to keep it down. All right, so this does not have to look perfect. I noticed that one side is kind of bigger, one side is kind of smaller, and that's totally fine. I'm gonna take my turkey now, and we're gonna just kind of layer it across the top. You can do all different directions. You can do it kind of however you're wanting. I love this recipe just because, you know, I've been looking for something that I can give my kids in their lunch that's not bread and that's not sandwiches. We're gonna be taking the plastic wrap again, and then I'm just gonna probably put one over the top. So I basically just don't want it to stick when I flip it around. All right, we're gonna flip it, and then we will take off the ones from the bottom. All right, so I'm just taking my knife and I am fixing it a little. And then I'm also gonna just kind of spread, ooh, careful. I'm gonna just kind of spread it out if I can so that everything is nice and covered. I'm not worrying about the edges, just mainly the middle. All right, so we have everything lined up to do the toppings. I'm gonna start with doing some of the seasonings first. I'm putting on some dill. I actually really, really like dill. And then some garlic. Now, you guys have noticed that this is not 100% looking like it's a professional roll-up, but you know what? When you are cooking for your family, this is real, this is not perfect. And that is the motto you have to live by. It is better to do it yourself than to go out and buy something that is of inferior quality of products. And hey, this kitchen is a real kitchen. And I actually really do make this stuff for my family, and they do love it. Okay, we're gonna do our cheese. Now, if you wanted to do some salt and pepper, you totally could. I didn't think it needed it because the other seasonings work so well with it. And who doesn't like the flavor of ranch, you know? Okay, so now that we have some cheese on, notice I didn't measure, I just kind of sprinkled it on, so you can do however much you want. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to roll this. So you're gonna take one of your sides and kind of begin to roll it like this. Try to do it as tight as possible. And the saran wrap, or the plastic wrap, is really going to help us in this situation, because you see how nice it's just rolling up like this? I am so excited to be able to give this to my kids tomorrow for lunch. And you know what? Actually, for most of the week, because this is going to last them quite a while. And also it's a great snack for me too, if I'm ever wondering like, oh, what should I bring to work for lunch? Okay, so I've rolled it. A couple of the edges are falling, which is totally fine. I'm gonna roll it in the saran wrap like this. Do the edges, and then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for 2 hours, just because it's going to make the cream cheese harden a little bit more, and it's going to be a whole lot easier when I'm cutting it and putting it in a container for their lunches later on. All right, so it has been about 2 hours. I'm going to unroll this. All right, now the end pieces are not pretty, so I'm going to just leave those off. I'm going to be cutting these in about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, maybe, pieces. All right, I'll show you how it looks. Oh my goodness. That looks so delicious. And surprisingly, this was super easy to do. Now I'm going to be cutting these. I'm going to be just setting them aside on a plate. Another thing that you could do with these too, that I've seen some people do, is putting it on top of a cucumber chip. So that is an option too, if you're wanting to get some veggies in that or make it look a little bit more fancy. That would work as well. Okay, for our second recipe, we are going to get out the pickles out of their juice, so that there's not so much juice when we work with them. I'm gonna let them sit on this plate just so that they can get all the juice off of them. So you wanna lay out your ham. Now I forgot to tell the lady who was doing my ham to do it a little thicker. So this is a little thin. So I'm gonna use 2 pieces of ham. You wanna take a little bit, not a big glob, and then you're gonna press it down till it kind of spreads out a little bit. You wanna be very careful so you don't rip your ham. And then after we're done spreading this out, we're gonna put the pickle in it and roll it up. And then this we're going to set in the refrigerator for a little bit too, to kind of make the cream cheese harden a little bit. And that is gonna let us cut it so that it's not so messy. I actually made another couple of them before, but I did not put them in the refrigerator. And cutting them was fine, but it just wasn't as neat as it could have been. Okay, so you can do it as thick or as thin as you would like. We're gonna grab a pickle. You can do it like that if you were wanting. It's actually probably kind of good that we didn't do a whole pickle, just because it might not have all fit. Okay, so I'm gonna roll it like this, and then I'm gonna set it in the refrigerator and let it kind of harden. Pulled this out of the refrigerator. I'm going to be cutting it in about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch circles. All right, I will show you what this looks like. Oh no, I didn't cut it all the way through. All right, here you go. This is such a classic Minnesota favorite, and I love it. Everybody loves it. I can't wait for you to try it. All right, you guys, here they are. They turned out amazing, and I cannot wait for my kids to come home and try them because they're going to love them. It's going to be such a good snack idea, lunch idea, whatever. All right, let's give it a taste test. I'm trying the little end piece. It's good. I love the cream cheese in it. It totally takes turkey to a new level. Okay, let's try the other one. These are my favorite. I mean, they're both good, but oh my gosh. Seriously, I could eat all of it. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Now, don't forget, stay tuned because we have some more great appetizer stuff coming up. We have some great Valentine's Day stuff coming up. You're not going to want to miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned, of course, for some more great recipes. We'll see you next time.